Alright, listen up, Rune Slayer warriors! If you're tired of getting folded like a lawn chair every time you load into a fight, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the ultimate class tier list to help you pick a class that actually stands a chance. Rune Slayer doesn't play around. This game hits hard, and if you pick the wrong class, you're basically signing up to be a walking target. Whether you're a melee maniac or a ranged tactician, knowing the meta is the difference between stacking wins or becoming a highlight in someone else's montage. Now, Rune Slayer's combat is brutal, and the current meta loves ranged classes like they're the game's favorite child. That doesn't mean melee is dead, but if you're gonna charge in swinging, you better know exactly what you're doing. In this video, we're ranking every class from godlike to garbage, so you know who's worth your time, and who's only good for comic relief. Let's jump in and find out which class will make you a legend, and which one will have you rage quitting in 5 minutes. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking classes in Rune Slayer. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Thief. Alright, so let's talk about one of the trickiest classes in Rune Slayer, the Thief. Now don't let the name fool you. This isn't your typical backstabbing rogue. Oh no, this class is all about agility. You can dart around the battlefield like a shadow, zipping in and out of combat with speed that'll make your enemies dizzy. Seriously, it's like trying to hit a ghost. But here's the catch. While you're quick, your weapons, not so much. Those light weapons might be fast, but they lack that punch to finish off enemies with just one hit. So, what does a thief bring to the table if they're not exactly wrecking shop with raw power? Well, it's all about precision. You've got to be smart with your attacks, using that quickness to land rapid, punishing blows with moves like Piercing Strike. And let's not forget dagger training, your best friend when it comes to landing some nasty hits in the heat of the moment. You won't tank too many hits though, so it's all about staying light on your feet. Stick to medium armor to give you just enough protection without slowing you down too much. Your goal? Strike hard, strike fast, and get out before anyone even realizes they've been hit. But here's the thing. You've got to be the kind of player who loves to play that sneaky, high-mobility game. The Thief class is perfect for those who thrive in PvP skirmishes, where you can swoop in, take down high-priority targets, and disappear into the chaos. It's not about tanking damage or being the last man standing. It's about being the last person anyone saw before they dropped. If you've got the speed and the strategy, this class could put you at the top of the Rune Slayer tier list. Just remember, being a thief isn't about brute force. It's all about precision and speed. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Striker. Alright, let's talk about the Striker class in Rune Slayer. Honestly, if you're the type who loves to throw punches and dive headfirst into the chaos, the Striker might just be your vibe. But here's the deal. This class is all about close-range combat. And let me tell you, you've got to be right there in the action to make it work. Strikers wield gauntlets instead of traditional weapons like swords or bows, so it's a whole new level of up-close brawling. The power lies in the combo system. Start with a basic strike, dodge with brace, and follow up with a vertical strike to knock enemies off balance. It's all about speed and aggression. The best part? Your battle aura. Once that kicks in, you're not just hitting harder, you're also moving faster and tanking less damage. This gives you that extra edge to keep up the pressure without being totally wiped out. And don't forget about Power Strike. It's like your finishing move, where you charge up a crazy powerful attack to bring down the hammer. If you're not constantly attacking, you're definitely doing something wrong though, because this class lives for that non-stop offensive playstyle. Now, while Strikers are fantastic at overwhelming single targets and disrupting enemy lines, I'm not gonna lie, they're not the best for everyone. You've got to have quick reflexes, an eye for timing, and be willing to dive right into the thick of it. In PvP, these guys can be a nightmare for your enemies, always on the move and keeping the pressure on. But if you're not into the up-close and personal combat, this might not be your go-to class. Still, if you love being the center of the action and keeping your enemies constantly guessing, the Striker is an absolute beast. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Warrior. Alright, let's talk about the Warrior class in Rune Slayer, one that you might not always choose, but it can definitely pack a punch when you need it. This isn't the flashy class that will get all the glory for dealing insane damage, but let me tell you, it's the backbone of any solid team. Think of the Warrior as the unsung hero, the one who soaks up all the hits while your DPS classes get to do their thing from a safe distance. If you're not afraid to be the frontline wall that shields your squad, the Warrior's got your back. Now sure, the Warrior relies heavily on focus, and while they may not be as agile as some of the other classes, their ability to take a beating is second to none. With skills like Slashing Strike, you can deliver solid damage while keeping those enemies distracted, making sure they're not running rampant in the backline. And don't forget your high health and armor. You're basically a walking fortress. When you're tanking all that damage, your team can breathe easy, knowing you've got everything under control. But, and it's a big but, if you're not careful, playing the Warrior can feel like you're just a meat shield. You're not going to be topping the damage charts, and you'll have to rely on your teammates to finish the job. However, when it comes to dungeons and large-scale PvP brawls, that's where the Warrior shines. You'll be the one keeping enemies busy while everyone else chips away at the rest. So, if you like to stand tall and take the hits for your crew, this class is definitely worth considering. Just be sure to know what you're getting into. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Archer. Alright, let's talk about the Archer class in Rune Slayer. If you're the kind of player who loves to keep a safe distance from the action while still delivering some serious damage, this is your perfect fit. Think of yourself as a deadly sniper, always lurking in the background, waiting for that perfect moment to strike. With the bow and arrow in hand, you're the master of precision, and with abilities like Power Shot, you'll wipe out enemies before they even know what hit them. But here's the real fun part. You're not just about distance and damage. The Archer's battle aura is a game changer. It's got different forms to suit whatever the situation calls for. Whether you need a boost in movement speed to stay ahead of the pack, or want to hit harder and deal massive damage. Plus, you can even reduce the amount of damage you take, making you pretty hard to take down. And don't forget your pet. Mark boosts both you and your companion, making you an unstoppable force when you stick together. Let's not forget the sheer mobility the Archer offers. With Evasive Shot, you can dodge incoming danger while still landing those lethal hits. And if you're looking to take it a step further, Focus Training will keep your focus regeneration up, so you never run dry when you need it most. So, whether you're clearing out mobs with multi-shot or taking down bosses with some serious DPS, the Archer has you covered, staying agile, staying deadly, and always staying one step ahead. The classes in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Priest and Magician. Alright, let's talk about the real heroes of Rune Slayer. Those S-tier classes that can turn the tide of any battle. If you're looking to dominate, you better pay attention, because these classes aren't just strong, they're game changers. First up, we have the Priest. Now don't get it twisted. This isn't just some side healer. The Priest is the backbone of any team, keeping your squad alive in the most brutal of fights. You're the reason your buddies don't bite the dust after a massive boss slam. Not only do you keep them patched up with Holy Light and Flash Heal, but you've got Resurrection in your back pocket, bringing everyone back to life when things go south. That means you're always on the front lines of keeping your crew in the game. Oh, and did I mention you're packing Holy DMG? You're no slouch when it comes to dishing out damage either. Whether you're buffing your team or healing, the Priest is an absolute lifesaver, literally. Next, let's talk about the Magician. This class is all about the range. If you love to stay at a safe distance while raining down chaos, the Magician is for you. Not only are you boosting your own stats with lesser strength and lesser intellect, but you can also stack those buffs on your allies to make them absolute beasts. And if things get dicey, pop up a magic shield to absorb incoming damage and conjure food or conjure water to keep your team's HP and mana in check. You may be fragile, but you've got the kind of firepower that can melt entire mobs with Mana Bomb or lock down your enemies with arcane armor. Talk about a walking powerhouse. One of the coolest things about the Magician is how you can control the battlefield. Instead of just throwing spells for damage, you can actively shape the flow of combat, buffing your team, protecting them with shields, and even bringing in resources like food and water. Yeah, you've got that covered. And when it's time to go full destructive mode, just hit them with that massive Mana Bomb and watch the enemies scatter. This is a class that makes you feel like a wizard in control of the entire fight. The best part? You're versatile. Whether you're nuking enemy clusters in PvE or picking off targets in PvP, the Magician is always ready to turn the battlefield to your advantage. While you might not have the durability of some other classes, the The pure power you bring to the table more than makes up for it. One spell from you, and enemies are running for cover. But don't think that just because the priest and magician dominate, they're the only game in town. Rune Slayer has a ton of other classes that bring their own unique strengths to the table. However, if you're looking for the absolute best in keeping your team alive, or laying down some serious destruction from afar, these two are top tier for a reason. Whether you're in a raid, a boss fight, or PvP, you can count on them to come through. In the end, Rune Slayer's S-tier classes aren't just about raw power. They're about playing smart and supporting your team in ways that others simply can't. So, if you want to be the MVP, these are the classes you should definitely consider picking up. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.